Hello everyone, and welcome to my guide on how to play ARM's Kyrian Warrior. And in this video I'm gonna be going over stat priority, I'm gonna be go over talent choices and why it's best. I'm going to go over conduits, and I'm going to go over the general rotation and consumables and when to use your cooldowns and stuff. Alright, so first up, your stat priority. It should be haste until you have 20%. The reason for this is that haste gives you higher rage generation, so it really pulls your DPS to a higher point, and you're not gonna lack rage almost at any point to pull out any abilities that you want. So yeah, haste first. Of course, strength is over haste, and weapon damage is even higher than that. But generally, I'm talking about secondary stats. You want to go haste, crit, mastery, versatility. The reason I have this much versatility is because I also do a lot of PvP, and it's a very good way of gearing, but that's for another video. So yeah, talents in the first row, the 15 level row, you want to go with either sudden death or skull splitter. You can actually, they sim pretty equally. It just depends on your playstyle. Skull Splitter is very good if you really like to manage your rage. Like, you use it when you get a low on rage, and then yeah, you can pump another Mortal Strike or another slam into the target. And Sudden Death is like really good. It can be a little bit RNG-ish, but it gives you a lot of damage with some execute procs at the right moments. Second row, I always go double time. It's very specific occasions where Stormbolt is usable as well, like second boss in Castle Nathria, where you can stun the Shade when killing it. But always go double time, so you can like weave in, when you get low on rage, you can like weave in a charge or two. Like, I'll just show you that I'm low on rage, I'll run out and I'll charge in just to gain a little bit of rage. So yeah, always double time. Third row, I always go for Massacre. Execute is just so strong, and being able to use it for 15% more of the battle is going to be really good for you. For Dwarf, battle is pretty much useless, as Slam deals almost no damage, and Whirlwind is a wet noodle as well. Rend is just not very strong, I think, and it also takes up a lot of rage, and it doesn't deal that much damage, so yeah. This row, fourth row, is mostly utility. I like to go with defensive stance, so when there's an intermission phase or anything, I can pop defensive stance, or if I'm taking too much damage, just so I don't die for a moment. So yeah, it doesn't really matter here. It's up to yourself what you like to do, for when you're looking at damage at least. Fifth row, I always go with a Warbreaker. It's just a way better multi-target talent, and usually ads are not up for very long, so the collateral damage is very useless. Like, Whirlwind doesn't deal a lot of damage to begin with, so the 200% extra damage you get on this it's not very good. And Cleave is just not very strong either. Warbreaker just increases your overall damage, and when you have sweeping strikes, you're gonna be covered for most of the AoE fights, so yeah. The 45 talent row, you have In for the Kill, which increases your haste when the target is below 20% health. It's decent, but it's not very good for most of the fight, so I like to go with Avatar and like big burst windows. And Deadly Calm can be good if you're a venthyr, to get like free condemned spams, but as a Kyrian warrior, this doesn't really do anything. In the last row, you have Ravager, Anger Management, and Dreadnought. Dreadnought is really good. You get another charge on your overpower, and it also deals increased damage. And when you pair this with the Conduit called Crash the Ramparts, you can have a lot of overpower damage in a fight. I'll just show you real quick here. As you can see, my overpower deals 14% and another 6.4% of my damage, overall damage here. So it's pretty good. So yeah, I always go with Dreadnought as a Kyrian warrior. Yeah. Also a quick mention, when you play a Kyrian warrior, you always want to go with Gauntlets of the Unhinged. which give you an extra proc, which gives you 2 more mortal strikes when you Bladestorm. So Bladestorm is not a single target DPS loss with this one, and really good for cleave as well. Alright, let's take a look at the conduits. I always go with Pelagas, as you get 2 potency conduits and also the combat meditation, which is really strong. With combat meditation, you want to make sure that you walk through the sorrowful memories that are spawned. I'll just show you them. If you look at the floor here, like these ones, they will increase the duration of your combat meditation, which gives you mastery. So yeah, and it's 350 mastery, so make sure you walk through those whenever you use your spear. And then I go for Crash the Ramparts to increase my overpower damage, and I go for Mortal Combo, which gives me a chance to trigger a second Mortal Strike, which is also very good, especially combined with our Legendary. Yep, that's it for the conduits. And just a quick rant about consumables. I want to show you that using consumables like flask, food, I use haste food because my haste is not above 20%. And using a potion of spectral strength will give you so much more damage overall. If you see here, this is a go on the dummy I did, where I had no consumables up. I did 3.5k DPS, and then I did one with consumables up, and I did 4.1. It's a 600 damage increase, and I did 3 minutes for these goes. So it's pretty significant, and I didn't even use Augment Rune, but it's also advisable if you really want to top the meters. They are very expensive though, so it's kind of up to yourself. People don't really expect you to use these. So yeah, about the rotation, first thing you want to do is you want to pop Warbreaker, pop your potion, avatar, and use spear. So that should go. Also, if you have an unused trinket like mine, you want to use it when Warbreaker is on. Then you want to use execute whenever you get a sudden death proc. And then you want to spam Mortal Strike on cooldown, weave in overpower, and spend rage on slam if you're above 80%, so you don't cap out on rage. I'll just give it a quick go here. Alright, so charge in, Warbreaker, potions, spear, trinket. I get a sudden death proc. You can see I'm at a full rage here, so I'm proccing slam and using my overpower here. Pick up the sorrowful memories, keep going. In the beginning here, I like to actually dump my rage as much as possible, so I can get my Bladestorm out. And while I Bladestorm, I generate rage as well from auto attacks, so that's pretty good. At this point, you want to sit at about 60 rage and slam if you get above, unless you can Mortal Strike, of course. And then just spam your overpower. It's really, really simple rotation. I can see my Warbreaker coming up now, so I'm saving rage for this one, popping it on cooldown, and now I can spam my abilities again. And then every 45 seconds, you'll get another Warbreaker, and every second Warbreaker you should have Avatar with as well. So try to combo them, because damage increase together with another damage increase is double the damage increase. I also like to wait for my spear till I get the second go. So basically my spear is 1.5 minute cooldown for me, because the extra damage you get from the mastery as well stacks on top of the 30% from Warbreaker and 50% from Avatar. So yeah, now I'm Bladestorming just before I get my cooldown, so I'll be at full rage here. I'll use one Mortal Strike here, Warbreaker, Avatar, Spear, full rage, and then I spam to use my rage here. Sometimes you want to pop slam before overpower if you're going to cap, but yeah, that's the general idea. And of course, when you get to execute range, you want to use execute as long as you have deep wounds up. If the target is not suffering from deep wounds, you don't want to use execute, you want to use Mortal Strike instead, or Bladestorm when you get low on rage as well. So yeah, that's the general idea. Also, if you have a multi-target, you want to, I'll just show you the opener in 10 seconds, but without Avatar of course, but you want to use sweeping strikes whenever there are 2 targets. So let's see here, I like to use it while I charge in, use my Warbreaker, trinkets, and then hit both targets here. Blade Storm is also really good for multi-target here, as I throw out with sweeping strikes. I throw out mortal strikes as well with my legendary, and yeah, you know, I'm pumping damage right now, as you can see, 7.7k in the opener here, and also I have my sweeping strikes up again here, and I can keep a very high damage and a lot of uptime with sweeping strikes. So that's the multi-target rotation. You don't want to use Whirlwind ever, actually, at multi-target. You just want to Blade Storm, and you want to use your sweeping strikes and overpowers. Overpower also deal a lot of damage to multi-target. So yeah, that's about it. If you want to know exactly how to deal with every encounter in Castle Nathria, I'm going to be putting guides up to every single encounter the next couple of days to show you exactly how you can optimize your damage on specific encounters, as there's a lot of different methods and mechanics to look out for. As for example, Huntsman, there is always 2 targets, so you always want to sweeping strikes, and sometimes one target is in execute range, so you want to focus that one, and etc, etc. So yeah, that's the general idea. I hope you learned something, and see you next time. Bye.